everybody, welcome back to Home Button Game of the Year Awards 2015. Looking at Emilio on his phone.
Sorry,
Day 2.
A horrible ending to day 1.
Peter Stormare, the greatest.
Welcome back, Day 2. It's
and objectively,
it's a day. I don't know when these are going up, but it's one day closer to the baby Jesus. All right, so we're gonna be starting off today.
Hey, I mean, if you count, as of this recording, you know, we're one day away from the beginning of Hanukkah.
Ooh.
Oh.
So you guys
All right, so our first category is that came out this year.
I guess not.
This is a category meant for games that maybe we forgot they actually came out.
Not necessarily, apparently, because they're bad.
Not because they're bad, just because it's like, wait,
Which
what?
is what I thought.
These came out in
2015. All right,
Huh.
ready to blow your mind. Evolve.
That really does shock me. Because I feel like I saw that at PAX 4 years ago, and I just... Yeah.
Did WildStar...
Did it evolve your expectations?
Wait, guys, did WildStar come out this year or last year? Because
I don't know, man.
It came out last year. When
Like, I didn't even
that wins.
think
That wins
about
most
WildStar for a
taxes.
year,
Yeah.
let alone that it came out this year.
All right,
I
WildStar
forgot
came out
about
last year,
WildStar.
and then it went free to play. Like
Battlefield Hardline. That came out this year. A
Yeah.
Battlefield
That's
game came out this
actually
year,
shocking.
guys.
That's actually very shocking.
The only reason I remember that is because I remember, and I'm gonna just say it. I was listening to the Bombcast when they were talking about that game, and I was in Ireland, and I can date that time. Like I remember them complaining about the game, but other than that, that game feels like it came out
Like
ages ago because I feel like it has no community.
Batman Arkham Knight. I guess I'm one of the only ones that feels this way, but for whatever reason, that game feels like it came out in an eternity.
No, I feel like that came out recently enough, personally.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I guess it's just me. Mortal Kombat X feels like that game came out a
I feel
while
like that
ago.
game came and went.
Good game, though. I like that game. I just think it didn't have the same
They're
impact.
getting like 4 more characters. They just announced it.
Yeah, they just did.
And then one we just added.
The
And, Dying Light.
The Tarkatan Xenomorph.
Dying Light
That
came
looks
out,
pretty good.
which...
Dying Light, yeah.
Yeah, that also
was a game
that was
this
an
year.
early one. So I think if enough people don't feel strong about Batman, I can take that one off.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, we're making a top for most forgettable games?
I mean, it really doesn't matter.
Which one is the least
Ultimately.
Guys, I really think this is. I mean, we all know this is going to come between Evolve and Battlefield.
It's definitely just Evolve for me.
It's just Evolve
Guys,
for
can we
me
all
as
agree
well.
it's Evolve?
No,
I
feel like it's Battlefield because like Evolve at least
That's
had like
true.
Evolve had
I don't
controversy
know.
around
I don't
it.
know.
People were talking about like Evolve, and Ed also would do that thing where he kept like every other week he'd be
Do
like,
we not remember
let
the
me
controversy
give you
of
my
Battlefield?
my Evolve. No, Battlefield had no controversy. It fucking just came out.
No, it came out during all those things.
No,
I think by things
See-
you mean police
Yes!
brutality
Now,
and
here's-
riots.
now,
and
here's the thing,
things
though.
you're afraid to say for some
I don't
reason.
think that was actually when the game
all
came
the
out.
sad things.
That was more when the game was being shown off at like trade shows.
You're right, it came out
When
like
the game
after.
actually came out,
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
just
yeah.
was like, "That's a thing."
It was like at the one trade show, and it was like they're like on a roof in LA, like playing this game about like terrorists taking over the city, and then actually in LA there was like a bunch of robbers, like,
Yeah, exactly,
like, firing
exactly.
at cops, like doing like the exact thing you do in the game.
And then they're like, "This is awkward." Evolve was like Ed was saying like, "Hey guys, guess how many people are playing Evolve now?" Like he had this like check-in with us.
He
Yeah.
was checking this.
check-in.
That's
So
true.
it's down to 500
Let's-
people.
let's-
Let's see how much lower it can go next week.
Next week on Evolve Report.
Let's remove Dying Light because it's on our GOTY list.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I feel like that should.
I was on I put it on the list only a week ago.
He forgot it was on hit. He forgot that game came out because he almost didn't
I
put
was like,
that on his top
oh
10.
yeah, I remember that was a good game.
Okay.
So
It was a cool
I
game,
personally
didn't
think
play
Battlefield Hardline because I feel like I had more moments where I said like, "Yo, right, Evolve came out this year." Battlefield, I didn't even remember enough to think that. Like,
Well, I
just
honestly
kinda
thought it came out holiday.
No, it didn't. It was supposed to, but then it
maybe
didn't.
that's why.
I think Evolve is the one for me.
Oh god, for some reason I was just shocked. It was weird.
Okay.
I just have a tiny taser back here.
That was the weirdest thing ever.
It's because you thought about Evolve.
You thought about
Oh, it came out
like,
this year.
Oh,
I really,
oh,
I
Evolve.
was sitting, my arm was here
Yeah,
the
no,
whole
like
time.
I like when I looked over, I was like, "That's not doing
I
anything."
just fucking spaz out.
Anyways, yeah, for me, I think for
Okay.
me, it's Evolve.
You
Just
Evolve.
because, like, when I looked at that list, I was like, yeah, Battlefield Hardline, because I had a lot of friends that were playing it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
For me, it's Battlefield.
Really?
What about you guys?
I didn't know people bought it. I what did you say? Evolve?
He hasn't said yet. What do you say, Matt?
I'm literally torn between being not interested between Evolve and Battlefield. I feel like Evolve was the more disappointing.
We can get rid of Mortal
game.
Kombat. We knew it was going to be...
But it'll be our
Oh, yeah, it's our runner-up.
our runner-up.
One of them.
I'm gonna say Battlefield.
Okay.
I'll say Battlefield just because I remember
What?
that Evolve
Okay.
was such a disappointment.
Day 2.
Getting it
Emilio
done.
doesn't get his way.
Oh man.
I
Evolve.
just think
Evolve is definitely forgettable
I'm
though.
just-
This next category is the most something.
Well, I'll explain my justification for this one.
That is such.
We need stipulations for this one.
Yeah, I'll
boy.
explain this. If you guys don't like the category, we can drop it if you want. But
I
here's
think
my
it's
reason.
funny. I think it's enjoyable.
I
to
definitely
read off.
kind of want a more, maybe a better name for it. So the next category is the most open world. So okay, here's my thing. So this year, I feel like has been the year of like
There have been a lot of
open world games.
Yeah,
Specifically a lot of like games that franchises that weren't open world
that's
becoming
true.
open world.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like all of these games do open world differently, and so the question is not which is the best game, which one I think does open world the best.
I say Just Cause 3.
Well,
Shut up.
let's explain.
That's my vote. I'm just saying.
First we have
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain,
Very cool game.
Witcher 3 Wild Hunt,
Very cool game.
Batman Arkham Knight,
Very cool game.
Just Cause 3,
Awesome game.
Fallout 4,
Good game.
and Dying Light.
That is a game.
Dying Light. I think Dying Light can.
Did you like
Can go off?
No, I just
It
know
just
what I
like
want.
is this open world? I mean, I don't know much about the way its open world
Maybe
structure
I
is.
I'm a man that knows what I want.
Is it just like kind of like whatever, like the quests and stuff?
In terms of the actual.
Who here played Dying Light? I'm sorry.
Nate's the only
Just
one.
Nate. Okay.
Ed did. If Ed was here,
Thanks, Ed.
thanks.
My
Ed.
friend
Thanks,
Ryan
Ed.
played it and described it to me in a drunken stupor, so does that count?
Dying Light, I feel like whenever people
He
talk
said it
about
was
Dying
very
Light,
boring
they
and he
talk
didn't
about
like it, is all I know.
like the traversal's awesome, the combat's awesome. I don't hear anyone be like, man, those sweet quests or like the open world. No one talks much about the open world structure.
Right.
No, yeah, it's not a very memorable setting.
I'm sorry,
I would like to preemptively remove Just Cause 3. I think I'm the only one here who's played it. Just Cause 3?
I wanted that to
No. No, Just Cause 3 is a ton of fun. The actual open world structure of that game is incredibly repetitive.
For me,
Yeah, within 5 hours, it's like, because it's like the
You've
way
seen
that
it all.
game works is
Need to air
you
out.
get an area, you have to go to each major
Liber
town,
patch.
and you have to liberate it, and you do that by destroying certain things in the town.
Yeah.
Once you liberate it, it unlocks a challenge that you can do. You do the challenge to get
Better stuff for your game.
better upgrades for stuff.
which sounds
And-
like Ubisoft's formula to me.
Yeah.
Kind of. There's no tower moment.
Yeah,
or
I know,
anything,
but it's like the camp liberation stuff. Like I've seen
Yeah.
some of
Yes,
that,
yes.
and that I'm like,
and,
man, that feels like it's
and then you have
overdone.
story quests. That's it. There's no real side quests.
Here.
There's a couple
my
of like
art-
random encounter stuff.
my-
It's a lot of fun. Like actually running around
Yeah.
in that world is amazing. But
See-
the actual structure of the open world is just not that interesting, honestly.
I think
I don't think it hangs.
what you're describing is the mission structure that brings you through the open world in the desired pattern. What I thought of when I thought of open world is
You
what
gotta
game,
speak up. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
What I thought of was just kind of the game. I thought of it as the most open world because it seems like it let you do the most out of the gate. It appeared to me because I haven't really played. I played Metal Gear on this
I mean,
list.
it definitely
But
is
from-
like make your own fun. It's
Yeah,
it's definitely the most
It seemed
sandboxy.
like yes, that's kind of. I guess I was thinking, like here's a playground, you have at it.
Yes.
It seems like the most that.
But I feel like as far as like building an interesting world,
For me, it's not how big the world is, or like it's about what you put in your open world.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
fairly-
as long as the locations are meaningful. And for me, and traditionally with the series, Fallout wins that for me solely because every single structure you see has a name tied to it. And something you can probably do there.
yeah, I could not tell you like a single difference between like the towns and the Saints Row
Right.
kind of thing.
I feel like you
Or
said
not
about
Saints Row,
every
Just
Bethesda
Cause.
open world game. I didn't play Fallout 4, so maybe it's really different.
All right,
but
so I'm
I've
gonna
been-
remove Just Cause 3.
Fine.
How do we feel about Batman? It's technically an open world game. I mean, I think
Oh.
it's
Who played
okay.
it?
In terms of the most beautiful, I think it was. I think
What's-
fucking think.
I mean, that's a
Gotham
different category.
Okay,
flying around it is like
it's weird because
you go for it.
open world. When I think of
Looking at your belt buckle.
Oh, okay. When I think of best open world, I think of the area in which it is as a whole and the amount of things you can do in it, like volume.
Oh, there's too much though. There's too much.
There's a very there's a very big difference between size and volume.
Sure.
And
That's
I think
what I just said.
yeah, I agree with you.
I think the size of that world's pretty good.
And
Like, it doesn't feel too big.
I think in terms of Batman, I think it's a fantastic size.
Yes.
It's just in terms when comparing it to say Metal Gear Solid 5, Witcher 3, or even Fallout 4, there's so many things to do in those open worlds that I feel like Batman doesn't really belong in this list comparatively.
Sure, that's fair.
Although the world itself, Gotham City,
It's very
is
nice.
such a favorite of mine.
Yeah, it's great.
It's hard for me to describe how this category is weird.
So if we feel like
Sure.
that's kind of the black sheep here, do we want to get rid of it? Because like I haven't played it. I haven't played The Witcher 3. I can speak intelligibly on this topic about Metal Gear Solid 5 and Fallout 4.
Yeah.
But if I mean I haven't played Arkham Knight. From an outside perspective, it looked to me like there was a lot to do in that game.
I
But
will
if you're saying the other way around,
I
and
thought
you
there
did play it-
was.
No,
but
I think
guess-
there's a lot to do. I think a lot of that stuff gets very repetitive.
Yeah,
I
I can
think
see
the
that.
Riddler challenges, there's way too many of them, and I got sick of it.
As someone who has 100%ed Batman Arkham Knight, you are 100% correct.
Yeah, I did not 100% it. It was the first Batman I
don't know
didn't
why you
do
would
because
do
I
that.
was like, I can't deal with this. Like, this is ridiculous.
So it's tedious.
It got real tedious,
Okay.
and I think that's like the biggest flaw of that game for sure. I feel like they almost felt like we
I can't
needed to
see
put
you.
in like so much to make the game, but like I feel like if that game would have been way stronger if they had like had a lot less. of that
Right,
stuff,
okay.
For sure. Like it would definitely less is more.
So do we want to commit to a top 3 of Fallout? Or do we want to get rid of Batman?
I'm okay. Get rid of that.
You can get rid of it. I think it's.
I think we should.
I've
just,
never
just
enjoyed a
compare-
Bethesda game.
But that doesn't like because you never enjoyed a Bethesda game. That doesn't mean it's
deserve
wrong
to be
for.
on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like,
I've never-
I
I've never-
wasn't a fan of Peter Stormare as a character, but he won, so
Yeah.
The salt.
so
So you can shut
uh,
up.
Metal
That's-
Gear.
I didn't even get to explain what I liked about Batman.
Okay, do you want to
So-
explain? Do you want to at least give your?
It's like Fallout 4 looks like more Fallout 3. If it is, it's boring. Like the Fallout games.
That's not that's a generalization.
It
and I won't,
is.
I won't accept it.
It is, but I've never been grabbed by those. Like they're just here's a bunch of vomit playing it. Like I just and the Batman world when I was going around that it was like fun to go around and it was like fun to look at.
But that's not it's not about how the game looks. It's about what there is. To
Yeah,
do.
but like it's part of what makes
okay.
the open world appealing.
Going-
like, making the,
I agree with you.
okay.
Oh, but piggybacking off of that idea, going back to character, I think Batman Arkham Knight's world had the most character
Yeah.
in terms of its open world as opposed to any of these games.
And also, you're not liking Fallout 4 doesn't really matter because the amount of people that do like Bethesda open world games greatly outweighs.
Oh
that.
yeah, like I know people
Yeah.
like it and people like lots of things, but
So
So like liver and onions. I
So,
don't.
so that's why I think this category is weird because
It's a weird category.
in terms of open world, like
It's
Bat-
weird.
Batman
That's the
Arkham
thing.
Knight's world is my
But-
favorite.
but-
But in terms of like things to do and
But I feel like that's
attention grabbing.
What do we want out of an open world in our expectations? And I feel for me, it's like it has to achieve everything. Where it's like its open world has to be like has to grab me and have like a certain personality, but also the stuff to do has to be interesting. Like
I can tell you that having played 10 out or enough time
With
to
Metal
have an
Gear?
opinion of Metal Gear, that I do not think that I feel like there's so much emptiness in that world, and not even really the greatest size map that like I almost
Metal
feel like
Gear's-
the side missions are kind of not like
They're
null
fun,
factor.
they're fun, but-
yeah, but they're like they feel like null factors because it's like go back to this place you already did. a
Metal
mission
Gear
on.
is maybe the weirdest example.
It's like a
in
stretch.
This list.
It's like they're stretching content constantly inside that game.
Kind of.
It's weird.
It's more that
I
the way
really
that
liked the open world.
No,
in
no.
that.
I like it too, but it's so different because most games, it's like here's a map, dots in this. You know, like when you pick a mission, like you're in your helicopter and then you go to this place and you drop down to this area and then it is sort of like that to me. It's like a better sandbox than Saints Row because it's like here's this base you have to go do this thing. Here's your sandbox, and I think the tools, like the gameplay in Metal Gear, is like fucking phenomenal, and it gives you like a great setup to do it. As far as like populating this, the Afghan or Africa with like interesting like characters and like side missions, like it doesn't do that at all. But
Yeah.
it doesn't even try to do that. It's trying to be very different.
Walking around that map and just seeing stuff like it almost doesn't feel like an open world at certain times. It almost feels like I'm just brought into this instance to do this thing.
It's very weird. It's a very weird.
It's strange to me. I haven't played The Witcher 3, so I don't know how that.
Witcher 3
There's multiple open worlds.
Witcher 3 has 4 or 5, probably, right? And the first area, which is a very nice area, it's like 10 hours you spend in it. It's decently sized. Is like the smallest one. It's like the second area you go to is like 10,
It's
12 times
huge.
large. It's gigantic.
But the thing that I'd like to follow up with that is that
It doesn't feel gigantic in a cookie cutter way.
right, it makes me want to explore each and every inch of that.
And it feels
that's
lived in.
something that Fallout 4 for me doesn't do. I feel like almost every place in The Witcher 3 has some agency to it. Like, I want to visit here, and here because it all looks interesting. When I look at all the things on my little radar in Fallout 4, I view that more as a chore. Like, I'm going to have to explore
There's a
all of these
certain-
places.
But remember that you're a different type of person when it comes to playing video games, and you're more of a completionist.
yeah, and I'm saying my honest opinion about it, and that's
Yeah.
how I feel.
I
For
think
me-
I'm like Nate.
for me,
I'm not
for,
like a completionist at all. But
Give me your Fallout 4 pitch.
for me, Fallout 4, like as somebody that is not a completionist, and I want to just go through the game, kind of
At your own
strolling
pace,
along, which is how I was
There's
playing
too
Metal
many
Gear.
things in Fallout 4.
Sure.
But
There's too many-
this
there's a
category,
lot of things in Witcher,
category
though.
is the most open world.
what? That's the thing. The title of the category.
Oh,
I
we could
think-
change. We could
I
change the
don't-
title. I don't think it's a great title. I just
Well,
could
that
literally.
like defines the bearings for like the argument because I think for me.
Yes, if I was to
it's-
say most open world in terms of
it's-
size, I'd have
it's
picked like Just
fun
Cause.
per like when I think of like the most fun per inch, I thought of like more Metal Gear or Batman. But when I think of the most open world, I think of Fallout. I don't like it, but I think it's the most open world. Like I think it's the biggest thing.
For me, Witcher, I think strikes this balance where it's like giant, but
There's stuff to do that's
and
interesting.
Each town feels like its own unique town. It has its own unique people. It has its own little like tiny story, and like there's something about the way that world's put together that it doesn't feel like and then here's like the next town. Like here's like the next bunker. It feels like this feels like a real place I'm walking around.
Each town has its own culture. I feel like that. I feel like
I feel like and to that point, like I think Fallout's like a great open world, but it's definitely like Matt's saying where it's like, oh yeah, like you've seen that before. It's like maybe like the best version of Bethesda's, but you've seen it before. I haven't quite seen a game structure itself the way Witcher 3 has, and I've like there's something very impressive about it. Especially because it's like there's a reason why no one has, because like holy shit, this must have taken forever and cost so much money, and like no one except for like a bunch of crazy Polish people could like do this, you know?
the amount of
I'm sorry. Okay.
I feel like the amount of love and care that they poured into that game is just
Sure.
highly evident in the world that they built.
But it only has white people, so it automatically loses. And moving on.
So, yeah, I mean, my vote is for Fallout because I played it.
Sure.
I would actually vote for Fallout, but I don't like it. I'm
Okay.
like with Emilio. I think it's the most. It's probably the biggest.
Me and
Let's all
Nate's are
measure.
clearly Witcher.
Just because it's
Do you
the
want
biggest
guys want
does
me to
not mean
swing
it's
really
the
quick
most
and
open world.
No, that wasn't it, but it's not. It's not that it's the biggest. You literally just told us that it has. I mean, it may be the biggest. I don't know.
So
I actually
what I'm
don't know-
saying
I
is
don't know
that
scale.
that's Matt's reasoning.
Yeah, but
do you think Witcher is actually like larger?
Oh, it actually probably is. I honestly I could not tell you, but just
Well, all
looking
right,
at it probably is.
Maybe I should define that better when I say like it seems like in Fallout you could probably walk the longest. You could probably spend the most time just walking. And like I don't know if that makes sense, but like just like
The Witcher is not one continuous map. It's like
don't know.
5 giant open world maps that you go to because you're going to different regions, which
You know-
also means they have a good variety of like, hey, you're in this countryside.
isn't
and
that
you go
kind
to
of
like,
how like the Lord of the Rings game that came out last year went?
you mean Dragon Age?
No.
no the
Shadow
Lord
of
the Rings.
Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, I had the 2. Yeah, I had the 2.
Sort of. They had two.
But it's like, oh, then you go to a swamp. By the way, they somehow made swamps like beautiful in that game. But then you go to like a sea and you go to
Can't
like
make
a
swamp
snow.
ass
And there's
beautiful.
cities.
There's the one massive city. There's a good variety in that game. That's
How
very
did
impressive,
this category get so debating?
right? You guys laughed. You were like, "Oh, this is a funny
I still
category."
think it's a ridiculous
No, I mean,
category.
I think it's the title that makes it the funny part, not the actual subject matter.
Sure.
I think I'm just
in
also,
terms of things to do, I think just things to do in an open world, I think Witcher has the most things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm my vote's for Witcher.
In Fallout, you explore and shoot.
No, I love Fallout. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I absolutely love Fallout's world, and I love walking around in that game. And like, I think there are a lot of those cool moments, like with like I told you like the moment with like remember like the two bandits and like the squabble they were having with like the sister. Like I told you on the home button, and how I thought that was like, holy shit, that was like a cool moment. That wasn't like a quest,
right.
you know? And like, wow. Witcher has a lot of that too, actually. I don't know, like, I couldn't tell you like which one has more, but there's like, like even in the first area, you know, you probably caught on to this. There's that whole thing where there's like a thing with how like the lord of that town, his like son hung himself, like had died, and then because of that, like there's this one overarching thing with this like lord and his son hanging himself that like actually like causes like 5 separate like side quests in that story to happen.
I'm trying to remember that.
It's like the Lord's son killed himself, and you find out through another character later that like the reason he killed himself is because he was like gay and was in love with this person.
Yeah.
And then like
that
because
was the hunter.
yes, the hunter.
Yeah.
But because of that, he went to that one other town of the people who like rebelled against him, and then he murdered the girl, and that's how she became the Noon Wraith. And then like you find the grave, and like it's weird
It's
because
all interconnected.
Yeah,
and that's
it's like-
beautiful.
in a way where you're like, oh, like on their own, these seem like separate stories, and they are, but they all have this connecting thread of this thing that happened like 20 years ago in this town, and how like it holds a shadow over this town. So you're like, oh, this town has like a history to it, but not in a way where like a guy's like, well, let me tell you about the history of this. Like, you don't walk in and the guy just like, I'm gonna give you exposition about it. Like, and here's why this man has the history of this town. Like, that's the kind of stuff where it's like, oh, you really spent a lot of time crafting this world in this area and like making it feel like lived in a way that I find like very impressive.
All right.
Witcher 3.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have both played Witcher 3 and
True.
Fallout.
I haven't played either, so I'm the most unbiased.
Yeah, so Matt could just like not talk.
Because of that, I'll trust your guys' judgment and go with Witcher 3.
Vote Metal Gear
Okay.
with me so we
Yeah.
can deadlock this a little bit longer, I think.
No, I'll cave on that. It's I haven't played it, and I understand that they're great games, but
I would like
You're
to
just
say-
not into
can
that
I
kinda-
say one thing
yeah,
for
that's fair.
Metal Gear before we move on? 'Cause
Absolutely.
I feel like we shit on Metal Gear a little
No,
bit.
I think it's
open
great.
world.
I like
I
Metal
actually
Gear.
think Metal Gear did what I don't like about the Fallout games open world, which I don't think makes it a better open world. It actually feels fairly small, and maybe that's why I like it. It actually seemed like there was a level designer and not just obviously there are all the Fallout developers are currently shitting on me if they're watching this. But
They definitely
whenever I
craft
play
it.
those games, I feel like you laid out a ground and you put in some places, and you're like, yeah.
Oh,
we
like
can
all the
connect it like
fortresses
this.
in Metal Gear, it feels like they crafted
And not even
it.
just the fortresses. The way that I don't like most open world games is like like it just feels like it's just like laid on the ground and like boop boop boop. And Metal Gear is
I
like,
closed my eyes and
crap.
put a bunch of clicked a bunch of trees.
Like, that's how it feels when I play those. But Metal Gear actually feels like someone crafted the ways between.
Somebody
things
spent
and
5
thought
hours
about-
debating where to put that tree.
But
Yeah,
you also
and,
have to remember, Matt, that Fallout, like I think like maybe that could be true about Skyrim or any of the Oblivion or of the Elder Scrolls series, but Fallout 4's map is based off of an actual place. That
Yeah, Fallout 4
exists.
definitely doesn't feel like
And
that.
so
to
is
the most
3.
part.
Yeah.
I'd
And
say
so
that.
is 3.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
New Vegas.
I was just saying, yeah, for my.
There's not a random element to designing Fallout 4's map. They had people scouting locations for years to make that map.
Okay, so
That's
next
kinda
up.
tight. Sounds like a.
All right, guys.
sounds like a-
So Witcher 3 wins the most open world.
I don't think you like my joke.
Do you guys actually want to change the name of that and come up with a better
What?
name?
No.
Most
We
open world?
we
Okay.
grounded our entire argument on the
All right,
entire
cool.
game.
Okay, that's what's
the
staying.
most open world.
Open world. I'll put the
mo-
quote.
The most. Open
All right,
world?
next one. I feel like this will be a tough one because most people haven't played any of these.
Yep.
God, I wish Ed was here because we could talk about Soma.
I
Best story.
Until
We have
dawn. GG.
Soma, her story, Tales from the Borderlands, Until Dawn, and Undertale.
Hey, what about his story?
I don't know how good her story is. I've heard how good her story
like
is.
Her story.
But is her story a contender next to Soma?
I don't think her story is going to next to Soma, but I want to give props to her story for the way it tells
It
its
gives-
story and the way it gives it to. I think is really clever and interesting.
I think
I
it's
don't-
very clever and interesting.
I
When
don't
I
know if-
played it on the home button, I hated it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. I don't know if it's like. I mean, the actual story itself is like, oh, you're just trying to figure this out. It's more like the story of you trying to like figure it out in the way it presents. I think what makes it cool and awesome.
I felt like I had to put in too much work for a story that I wanted.
All right,
Very little.
So no one feels super strong about it, but her story gets the accommodation from us. God, Soma. Soma is hard to explain why it's so awesome.
I know.
without
I mean, I've
spoiling
read articles that don't give away spoilers as to what the
Okay,
the subject
I'll-
matter of that game is and where it goes.
You can spoil it for me.
But I know Meals eventually wants to play it, so I don't want to spoil it. So, but Soma, I think like it talks a lot about like transhumanism and sort of like identity, with these concepts of like there's these robots around, and like very early in the game there's these robots that are like, "Yo, I'm human. What are you talking about?" And it's like, "Oh, like a human consciousness got put in this robot, and they
Is
think
it-
they're human."
Is it very Blade Runner-esque?
Not quite, because it's not like it's not like you
story.
built an android and they think they're a human. It's like a literal human brain,
Human
like a
consciousness.
human consciousness. Like their identity got mapped and put into a robot, but they still think they're human. And like, does that mean they're still human? Does it not? And it goes really interesting with that concept and really like pushes it. And the way that game ends is like so heartbreakingly brutal, but incredibly satisfying. Like I felt so satisfied at the end of that game.
I've been told that the developers of Soma, who also developed Amnesia, The Dark Descent,
the first one.
Machine for Pigs, I have been told and I have read that what they did with that what they did with that game was almost doing like the original concept of BioShock but better.
Okay, yeah.
Like it felt like it was up in the ranks of BioShock and System Shock 2.
It gives you a lot of those same feelings, and not in just an aesthetic, but in like what it's trying to
Right,
do
yeah,
to
the
you.
aesthetic
Yeah.
is
I mean,
obviously
the obvious aesthetic.
it is very clearly
Influenced.
inspired.
but definitely
even.
like that deeper message of like what it is to be human for sure.
Right.
And it feels like it definitely I would say it feels like they looked at those games and said, "Hey, I think we can do that better," and I feel like they do. So I think so much.
So I feel like this is going to be really hard to eliminate one.
I agree.
because,
I agree.
I think that
'Cause
Until Dawn was a really, really cool story. From
It's
what
a
I
cool
understand,
story.
you guys.
I think it was pretty okay.
it's a cool story. I like the twist a lot. I mean,
It's a twist.
I don't think it's like
Did you guys like that?
the best horror slasher story I've ever read or seen. But I mean, I had a very fun time with
Guys,
it.
I'm just-
It knows what it is, and it does it very well. I feel like it doesn't, in a way that like it knows what the tropes and limitations of that series are, and it plays with that a little bit, but also stays within those bounds. Like it doesn't
Right.
try and go over it and be like too jokey, like ha ha.
Right.
Like it knows what it is and it stays with that. But I also think it does that very well.
But this is also best story.
Sure. I'm just saying, like in its own way, like I think it's a very well versed.
And these are these are right now 4 of.
Tales from the Borderlands. I'll talk about that. God, I like Borderlands, and I kind of like a lot of ideas in that universe, but like those stories are like pretty bad in those games. Like they're not good, you know. Borderlands 1 and 2.
Right.
I think 2's story is better than 1.
2's is better than 1, but I still think 2's has a lot of problems. Tales from the Borderlands somehow takes that universe and makes a really, really compelling story with really good characters.
by
And it makes you
only
give a
only
shit.
focusing on the story elements instead of gameplay.
Yes, and like the writing is way better. Like
It's-
you look at like the writing between like a Borderlands 2 and a Tales from the Borderlands, and it's a clear like how much better Telltale is at writing. You're just like, holy shit! Like Telltale knows how to write stories and characters,
It's what that world needed.
and
Honestly.
it makes me more worried. It made me both simultaneously more excited and worried about Borderlands 3 because I was like, man, fucking
Because
yeah.
it's coming.
No, it is coming. And I was like, this game has me hyped on the Borderlands universe, and I can't wait for 3. But I was also like, the 3's not going to be written by Telltale.
Well,
It's
no,
going to be
do
written
you-
by Gearbox, and
do
it's
you-
probably
I mean,
not going
do
to
you-
be that great.
I mean, would you even consider the possibility that maybe after this game's success critically, that maybe Gearbox would hire some of Telltale, like commission
I would
some of
hope
Telltale's
so.
writers
I
for the
really,
story?
really hope so.
I don't think they would.
I don't know if they will, but that would be the
I mean,
best
what?
case
How?
scenario.
And in what way would that be a bad move? Is what I'm saying. Anyways, without
Sure.
without
No.
bringing up that
I would
discussion-
love them to. Whether they will or not, who knows, but I would love for that.
Without bringing up that discussion, I actually, Matt, without you just bandwagoning on Until Dawn, just because it's the only one here that you played, are any of these interesting to you? And do you feel any way about any of the other ones? I mean, or
Honestly, I listened to a spoiler section on Her Story. I know that we eliminated it because nobody else likes it.
No, it's not that
no,
I
I
don't
don't
like
think anyone
it. yeah.
dislikes it.
Oh, all right. Well, anyway, I listened to a spoiler section on it and like several people's playthroughs, so I like got the gist of it.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I like Until Dawn a lot, but I thought what Her Story did with narrative is a lot more innovative. But I guess it doesn't mean best story.
I think
It's more that the
But
way it does it is
whatever.
innovative. I don't know if the actual story itself is like the best thing ever, you know?
yeah.
I think what from what I've heard about Undertale, Tales from the Borderlands, and Soma, I think we can get rid of Until Dawn on this one.
I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Okay. So what
about
wins?
Until Fawn?
That
Okay.
being said, Tales from the Borderlands is the only one I have played.
Yeah, so this
At
is
least-
hard
Yeah,
because I'm the only one who's played all
this-
3.
I haven't. Yeah.
You 2 haven't played any of them. You've only played Tales from the Borderlands.
I can tell
Tales
you
of
which one.
Borderlands
I can
wins,
tell you which.
GG.
I can tell you which one I know I will like the most.
Probably Soma.
Yeah, it's
I
just
would-
just the
yeah, I
by
would
by
probably like some of the best.
by
but
what I like to
judging
play.
best story on something I haven't played this.
Which this is hard for me to vote for because
Yeah, this is a very hard category. To,
I'd
like,
like
and I
to play
knew like
Soma.
this was going to be like a
Shrug.
tough one just from virtue of not everyone playing it.
I know that I would like all 3 of them. Just from what I've heard about everything.
Yeah,
But I
you
know
probably enjoy
I
them.
know for a fact that from what I have seen and read of Soma,
Yeah.
that game is perfectly geared towards what I like
Yeah,
to play.
totally.
I agree, Emilio. I feel bad that I haven't played it yet because I feel exactly
It's really
the
good.
same way.
I just haven't picked it up.
You guys
It
should
looks
play
like
it.
somebody,
I just won't play Soma because of what it is.
Sure.
You're afraid? You're scared?
I think Undertale has a fantastic story, and like it's the kind of game where like it feels more simple than it is, and as it goes
Plus
on,
very
like
more.
the reveals of like what that universe is and like motivations of like characters and past events is all done like really, really well in a way that's I think super clever, and like
Number
you don't think you're gonna care, but like you
third time.
you don't think you're gonna care, but you do. And I was just like, damn, like yeah, like it's a cool like story, and I really, really enjoy it. It also okay, so I'll give a little spoiler, not too much.
Into Tales.
No, Undertale.
Okay.
More so that game has multiple endings. There is like the perfect good ending,
The pacifist ending.
the pacifist ending. There is kind of like, hey, you did it a couple times, and that's sort of like the Like, you kind of get the good ending, but like at the end of the
did
game,
it.
it's sort of like, hey, you could have done better. There's a version of that game called the Genocide or No Mercy ending.
What?
Yes, and that is a game, and that is a very hard ending to get because you have to really like grind and go out of your way to get it. It
In what,
completely changes. No, in Undertale.
Oh, what?
It completely changes the entire context of that game's story, where all of the dialogue is suddenly very different. The way characters treat you is very different. You go from being like, you're like the naive boy hero, to you're literally the villain of that game, and everybody treats you as the villain, and all the people you're fighting are like the heroes, and you're murdering them all, and it's so fucked up and creepy and ridiculous, and I can't.
Truly a paragon, truly a renegade.
Yeah, not like Mass Effect Renegade of like that. It's like all of a sudden you're the Reapers, or like it's just like it's like fucking like holy shit. I've suddenly retooled this game to become the villain,
Right.
and it's like it's fucking crazy.
That's fascinating.
It's
That's really
super
interesting.
fascinating.
I mean, when you
and I can't think of a game that's done that, and I was like,
Is that
damn,
Mouse?
like that's awesome.
Graphic novel Mouse. Have you read that?
Yes, Matt. Thank you for paying attention and looking at things around the room.
That's a great graphic novel.
I know I'm gonna read it.
It's very good.
Anyways,
So that part
That's
is
really
awesome.
cool.
That part is super cool.
that's really cool. I mean, that's the sort of thing that you can put man hours into when you're not making a game when you're making a game on a budget and not making the game a technical masterpiece.
There's also a really clever line in that game where if you do that ending, the Genocide ending, because it's so tedious and like most people would pick the good ending anyway, there's a line late in the end of that game where it specifically calls out you, the player, and it says, and everybody else watching this right now who are too scared to do this themselves. So it calls out because it
Very,
knows
very
Meta.
it's
wall
very
breaking.
fourth wall breaking,
wall.
where it knows like most people are watching this ending on a YouTube video because no one would actually do this ending. So like the game knows that most people
Yeah,
will
that's
never get
just
that
good
ending.
writing.
Yeah, it's really good. Like the game knows what its audience is going to pick and cleverly plays with that. There's
Make sure the
there's another good moment in our video me and Ed did where I did not know I got to this first major boss and I killed them, not knowing that like I thought I just kind of had to do that, and I was like, oh shit, I fucked up. And so I reset the game, and because the opening you can get through really quickly if you just kind of like skip through stuff, saved them. And then when I save them, you get taunted by this character after you saved them. And it says like, oh, you saved them. But then the dialogue suddenly changes and it says, but I know what you did. You murdered them.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like you murdered them.
It
and
reads
you
your save file that you
and
went
knows,
back.
and knows that you restarted the game. It says, oh, you murdered them. And you reset because you felt bad about it. But I know what you really did. And you're like, what the fuck, video game? That's so fucking crazy.
I like that. That's good.
And it does a lot of
Just
that
nailed
stuff.
the table. Big time.
All right. Well, I have to declare a vote, and I am voting for Soma.
Okay, you're voting for Soma. Shit, I mean, I would perfectly be happy with any of these to
Just
win.
pick one.
Well,
Jean-Luc.
they all do win at the end of the day.
They do. So what are you guys' votes?
I want to hear what Jean-Luc votes first.
Oh God, no, I don't. I like I said, I don't know.
Just
I feel
pick a baby.
I played Tales of the Borderlands.
you play Tales from the Borderlands, you'd go that. Matt, what would you pick?
I want to know what Jean-Luc's going to pick.
Matt, I want to know what you pick.
I want to know what you're
Nope.
going to pick first.
We're not gonna.
Mom,
No, you hang up first. No,
Dad,
you
stop.
hang up
You hang
first.
up first. Okay,
In interest of moving on, I will pick Undertale.
go pick Undertale.
Yeah.
Oh
I feel
shit.
like you would like.
I feel like
you
sounds
would
fun.
enjoy that game the most.
You did that, so I
Sounds
had to
really
pick
cool.
one, didn't you? Because you. That's
What's up?
motherfucker. Okay. Shit.
I do think I'd enjoy that most, but
We
also,
all picked.
I feel like I have 3 different audiences all waiting for me, being like, "Which one are you gonna pick, John?"
Well, you have because it's going to be
Can we
three people that
actually?
watch this
Can
video.
you in post edit the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire like?
You know what? I'll go Soma.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Do I win $1 million?
Soma is the winner for best story.
I'm gonna go Soma.
Story Goaty.
All right. This one will require a little music on our end.
Fuck, there's so
Best
many.
music. We can eliminate a couple, I think, pretty quickly.
Alright, let's just
So,
fuck.
Okay, I think this should be put into 2 categories:
you think so?
best soundtrack and best score.
Okay.
That's
Well,
true.
so I originally had that. I had soundtrack, which is like I had soundtrack and I had licensed music and like soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause Rocket League has a sick soundtrack, but it's not like a score.
It's not a score.
Okay,
It's
you
No,
know,
not-
no, no.
it's
no,
not
but
an
I think,
orchestral
but I
score.
think
I think
that
actually a lot of tracks.
I
were
think
made
that
for
I
it.
think that best music works fine here because it's
Yeah, it
it's the
encompasses
best.
it all.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I don't think it's
It's
I don't-
hard to compare Rocket League's electronic songs
It is,
to
it is.
Halo's orchestral
Okay,
suite.
let's start reading them off, and then we'll figure it out. So
Rocket League wins
we
that.
have Crypt of the Necrodancer.
great music.
Sure.
And
Interesting
Good.
music.
I put in a couple of samples that we'll
Alright,
read,
just
but we'll just go
Shotgun
through
through
them.
'em.
Rocket League,
Great music, really
Axiom
good.
Verge has a fantastic game. Splatoon, Persona 4 Dancing All Night, Sonic Dreams Collection.
What the fuck?
I just really like the menu music. of that. I just fucking like the menu music. I'm sorry.
like that
Brigador, which is a game I know none of you have played, but I'm going to show you the
I've
fucking
never
soundtrack
played.
because it's fucking amazing.
What about Brigadoon?
Undertale, Until Dawn. I put it in there. I put the
Because
opening
that,
theme.
the opening
I
theme
like
was
the
really
opening
good.
theme a lot.
That was a really cool song.
I know Dylan hates it, which is why I think we should let it win. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
Yep.
Specifically Sins of the Father and Quiet's theme. Fallout 4, The Witcher 3, Destiny: The Taken King, City Skylines, and Halo 5.
We can get rid of City Skylines right away.
Okay.
I would like to vote. Here's my vote for Goaty number 1.
Best music.
Is Witcher 3's when they rip off the Game of Thrones theme, Witcher, right? That's how it goes?
Yes,
That's
yes.
it. That's
And that was
Thank
me.
you.
That's the theme of that
That was
game,
just
right?
me and Ed doing that in our video. Witcher 3 has really good ambient music and like a good score, but I'm not sure if it hangs
I heard
for me in like
Witcher 3?
yeah, Witcher 3.
The combat music, I
It's
feel
really
like
good.
is
It's really good.
fantastic.
Can we rule? Can we rule out? Like I feel like
It's not Pokemon.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like rhythm games might be kind of a little bit of a null factor here because like if the music's bad, the game shouldn't exist.
I guess, but here's the thing for me
But
though.
granted, we have Rock Band 4.
But here's the
that
thing.
on the
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No,
But
that would-
the set list is
At
kind
that
of
point,
Yeah.
you're just picking your favorite band. Crypt of the Necrodancer, though, I feel like because
That's original music for that game, but Persona 4 Dancing All Night, is that all music from Persona?
it is all music from previous Persona games remixed
Okay.
by different artists. I'm okay
That's
getting
crazy.
I'm okay getting rid of Persona 4 Dancing All Night because it's a
I
very
think
specific
Crypt of the
game.
Necrodancer is a fine one to keep right now.
I think Persona 4 Dancing All Night. I want to say I really like that music.
We
But
know you like
but-
Persona.
but you have to.
Isn't this a Persona shirt?
No, this is
Oh, never mind. I thought
Skullgirls,
it was.
which has a great
So sorry.
soundtrack as well, but doesn't count. But I know it's like you have to be into that specific stuff. I don't think any of you care. Just give a shout out. They're also really good remixes. I think they're good remixes.
Get rid of Sonic Dreams.
Yes. Sonic.
Okay, we'll get rid of it. I'm gonna play the menu music because I think it's great.
If it's really good, I might keep it.
Do you want to? Are you gonna play it? In
Oh yeah,
post, or are you show it?
we're gonna play actual music here
Okay.
to decide this. I
As
feel like
long
that's
as we're not
important.
taken down.
I think
Um,
Sonic Dreams is the only one that we can play and not get taken down.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about song?
I just like left this on for like an hour one time.
I'm sorry. Okay.
This is really good.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, right.
It's really good.
I just left this on for a while. I was like, I dig this. Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
man,
maybe
alright,
it's not.
wait.
Maybe it's not an instant go away, but it's definitely. Not, it's not.
I
definitely-
changed your mind.
This is the best music category.
Until
I think it can go.
Until Dawn can definitely go. I think.
Yeah, get rid of
It's a
that
good
song.
theme though.
It's a good.
theme.
Yeah, it's a really cool theme.
It's a cool theme that like gets you in the mood. You're like, oh, we're gonna play one of these kinds of games.
I think Undertale's is good.
Have you heard any of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
I want to play
I
you
don't-
these particular ones.
Okay.
I picked the top ones.
Listen, if we're gonna play track from everything,
No, well, that's why I put those. No, we don't have to hear the whole thing.
don't have to?
All
Then your watch goes on this hand.
yeah, I put it on my wrist like.
right, here I'm gonna pull up
Yeah.
the Spider Dance. This
I
is
won't
one of the. This
high-five
is
you
probably
for
the best
that.
boss in the game.
I think it was great. I'm gonna pull a Justin Macaroni right now.
Okay.
I think it was great when they didn't have good computers and they couldn't make good music.
It's
Nowadays we have the power for graphics and we have power for music.
Here.
And you guys think they can
I
put
really
graphics
can.
in
I
these
can.
indie
I can
games,
dig
you know?
this.
Do you just not like chiptune?
No, I actually love chiptunes.
Current chiptune?
No, I like chiptune a lot. I just wanted to be a dick and be like, stupid low-res art.
Okay.
Rocket League is really, really cool, but the only
Yeah,
time
we
it's
can remove
yeah,
it.
the only time the music plays is in the menu.
Is in the menu.
Yeah.
It is, like, sick, though.
Yeah,
We
it's
can
really
take it
cool.
out.
It's really good
good-
music,
it's
and
good
I wish
music.
there was an option to have it play
Here,
while you're
wait,
playing.
wait. I'm
games.
gonna, I'm gonna play. I'm
seriously.
gonna play one more
And that's why I have Spotify
from
playing.
from
That's true.
from Undertale.
You can
There's
probably-
there's a
yeah,
part
yeah.
in that game where you fight multiple dogs, like adorable dogs in armor, and it plays this.
That's so good. That's really
It's the
good.
fucking best thing ever, right?
I like it.
And like the music, the game,
that
the
game's got
writing,
really
it was
good
all
music.
made by one guy, right?
One guy with the help from a lot of other people,
Oh.
but it's primarily credit to one guy.
Okay, we'll definitely keep that. I
for
don't.
now.
How is Splatoon's music like realistically?
Okay, so it's less that there's one track, and it's more that like the music. I feel like for
When
me,
you
it's more
talk to
that.
the Squid Sisters. What do you
Oh,
think?
okay. You know what? I'll play one song.
it.
For me, most of the game is it's more that the music just like along with all the visuals fits together really well. It's not something
You guys got a
necessarily
fan in here?
I would listen to on its own.
This leather couch is rough, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna
Real
play
swamp up in
most of the music's just hate Splatoon music, but at the very end of that game, you
Wait, does
fight.
it end?
Yes, that game has
Alright,
a single player,
alright.
and the final boss of that game is you fight this giant octopus who's like a DJ with these giant bass subwoofers,
Spoiler.
and the Squid Sisters show up and they play their weird Squid Sister J-pop song.
I
and it's
called
fucking
the
best.
shit out of this.
It's so
Haven't played
it's
the
so
game.
good.
Knew
Okay, it's like the best bot. It's fucking ridiculous.
it. I wanted to kick off.
Damn it! I like it.
Is it actually Japanese?
No, I think they're just
Is
speaking
it just-
like
It's like the
Squid-
genre.
Squid,
Yeah.
What is that?
Gibberish.
Sinese?
Wait,
Like what? The
Also, this
language
is
that.
also this is
Sin-
like the music to like the final boss, and it's fucking rad.
I get down with
Get your glow necklaces out. Oh wait.
Stop
Yeah,
that!
yeah,
You need to stop that right now.
So
This is gonna be a gift.
that
of
to me,
I'll make
the,
it.
the, the whole soundtrack is okay, but that particular song I really, really, really like.
Okay,
I just want to play.
I think
It's okay if we drop it,
I
but
think,
I really,
I think we
really
should
like
drop
that.
it. I fucking adore Axiom Verge's soundtrack.
Yeah,
It is
so
good.
I will. For those who haven't played it, I'll play the first one I put in there.
Or Tracer.
Fuck.
Tracer.
Luke, it's already
No,
9.
no, but like after that, I think.
Okay.
Oh,
I can scroll.
This one has a
forward.
build up to it.
There's 2 more days.
This one takes a minute to like build up.
You knew what you were getting into.
You guys just looking at that list and just panicking.
He is. I'm fine.
Yeah, we're whatever. Matt knew what he was getting into.
this is
That's what I just
a
said.
great score.
Yeah.
It's a good score. I agree. Like, I think
I don't know what Brigador
the
is.
first thing I said.
Okay, I will
when-
show Brigador.
The first thing I said when we played this game on the home button was, "This is funky. I like this."
Yeah, it's
Okay,
really good
okay.
music.
Brigador is a game
N- d-
that...
don't quote me on that. I think that's one of the things I said. Maybe.
Nobody's
Paraphrase.
Nobody's gonna.
Okay, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play
I
some
want
Brigador
people to
music.
fact check me. Is this also Axiom?
No, this is Brigador. This game is a
The game that nobody
it's
played
a,
but you.
Is a game that is a 90s. It's trying to be a 90s PC isometric mech game. It's got a killer aesthetic.
He had to fart.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
I mean, I appreciate you didn't do it right here.
Man, he's trying to air out those tootsies too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if this is like. I don't know if this is like top tier for me though, personally.
I personally really.
I really like it, but I don't
I
like.
think I already know what's going to win. At least. Yeah.
We can next Fallout 4 as well.
Yeah.
It's got a great orchestral soundtrack.
It does.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, wait. Let me play this one. This one's got a build up to it. This is like you gotta like some 80s like.
Did you have a milkshake, Matt? Yeah.
Yep.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Matt's lactose intolerant and he had a milkshake.
Oh yeah, right.
Before he had to sit down for 4 hours.
I'm not saying you guys should have stopped him, but knowing he's lactose intolerant.
I didn't know he ordered a milkshake.
Okay.
I did think of it. I had a brief moment where I was like, I should have stopped him.
Like we're gonna be in a room with him for
It's
probably
good,
at
but
least
It's
5
good.
hours.
I think it's definitely worth noting, but I don't think it's top.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Let's-
I fucking love the burger soundtrack though.
Timberlake button.
Let's-
Halo 5's okay, but I don't like absolutely
The
love
music I heard, I was like, yeah, that's
It was good.
That's more of
it.
Halo's music.
It's more Halo. I liked it more than 4. I think it's like, oh, it's more Halo than 4 was. Even though I liked 4's soundtrack a lot, I don't think it's top. Though.
Taken.
I feel like we're not giving it enough credit, but like it was really good. But
It
it
was
was
good.
just
We don't.
Yeah,
we don't
it's
need to play.
expected.
We don't need to play anything. If
Sure.
you've played a Halo game, you know what. Halo
Taken
is.
King. I liked Taken King. I didn't like. I was.
I thought the music was
the Taken
fucking
King.
amazing.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright.
and that is completely separating the music from the
no,
game.
it is separate music. It is yes.
I agree with Meals.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, we'll keep it for now.
I haven't ever heard Witcher music.
Witcher, like I said, it's really good, but I'm okay dropping Witcher personally.
Was it noteworthy for you, Matt? Please sit down like a normal person.
For me, when I think of like, I actually
butt's so
really
sweaty.
just like the. For me, Witcher's a lot like Fallout, where I really like the atmospheric music when I'm just running around.
Like the vocals in that game gave me chills. Like I don't want to try and replicate it.
Like the menu
like-
music kind of thing.
Like
Witcher
the female
main
just
theme.
like singing voice where she just.
Oh, I know
kinda
I know the
goes
one
like,
you're talking about.
"Ah."
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Thank you, everyone.
There.
What's this? What is
This is Witcher 3.
this? This is Witcher 3.
Yeah, it's got a great
This is
soundtrack.
weird. Okay. that
This?
feels like more like Witcher.
It's very good.
It's so catchy.
Yes, it is very good. I do like it a lot.
So
I'll keep it.
I'm a little.
I can get rid of Sonic Dreams for real. Though.
Yeah, no,
I was about to say.
Awesome
we're not
menu
we're not
thing.
getting rid of Witcher 3 before we get rid of
okay,
fucking
okay,
Sonic
fine,
Dreams.
Fine.
But we can
Formalities.
definitely.
Wait a minute, I wanna
But
keep
you
Sonic
admit
Dreams
the
over
menu
Witcher.
music of Sonic Dreams was pretty
I
awesome.
was more emotionally moved by the Sonic music than the Witcher music I just heard.
Do we-
so-
We kind of glossed over
I
Crypt. Do
want
we
you
want
to
to play any of
move.
the music from Crypt to get feelings for it?
I think we've all heard
Heard it
Crypt
enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Metal Gear? I mean, I really like Sins of the Father and Quiet's theme a lot.
I don't know.
You know, but like the music in Ground Zeroes is in.
I forget it.
Okay.
So it obviously didn't strike.
It's
a
got
chord
good
with me.
vocals.
Pun intended.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
They've been
It
using.
has like a build.
It's very formulaic compared to like other.
It's so Japanese, I love it.
Oh, it's awesome.
Like,
well,
it's just the
very
most-
no, that's not Japanese. It's Bond. It's supposed to be like James
Metal Gear.
Bond.
It's so Metal
But
Gear.
it's like Japanese Bond.
Yeah.
I do see where you're getting Bond from.
Oh no,
Yeah.
like, I
Very
get what
Bond.
they're.
I mean, if you really want Metal Gear
Every
Bond,
Bond has
Snake
that
Eater.
musical intro kind of
Oh,
thing.
Snake
so.
Eater, though, is definitely that.
Snake Eater.
Snake Eater wins best soundtrack every
All right,
year.
guys. Snake Eater won it this year. I don't care. Oh, sorry.
What's up?
Guess what I just caught Matt doing?
Matt, I feel like I'm babysitting you.
Can I just say like
Like
this?
I want you to leave my house.
Okay, guys, we are down to 6.
Oh my god. We need Jean-Luc. There's so many categories.
I
I see what you're doing now.
I know.
What do we want to drop?
I know all of the music. I know all of this music, and holy crap! Like
The-
being somebody that listens to a lot of music a lot of the time,
Yeah.
I fucking love the Taken King.
Okay,
music
you feel
so
you
much.
should feel really
Yeah,
strong about
I
Taken
feel
King. I'm
very
okay
strongly
keeping that
about
on. I feel super strong about Undertale. I will not let that one go.
I feel very strongly about.
Do we want to drop
Destiny and
Axiom
Witcher
Verge?
3.
Axiom
all
Verge is awesome, but I'm okay dropping it.
I would drop Axiom Verge and Necrodancer.
Me
compared
too.
to the rest of
Although
this year.
I really do want to give this one's credits.
I feel bad that we're only looking at like three. We're looking at 3 AAAs and then Undertale.
Yeah, we're dropping all the indie games. Okay, which one do we want to drop?
I almost liked the Undertale music more than what I just heard of Witcher 3 personally, because I thought it was really, really
Unique.
unique.
Witcher, I mean, the vocals for that one's really good, but there's definitely certain parts of it that you're like, yeah, this is kind of like what you expect.
I mean,
that aspect.
also,
I think
there's
the percussion in that game
It's good. It's really good.
top notch. I feel very strongly about Witcher 3 and Destiny.
Nate was playing.
I don't feel as
this-
strong about Destiny as you two do. Like, I really liked it, but I'm okay without it personally.
I don't think they're okay with that.
Super incredible.
No, I'm not saying they are.
Granted,
I'm just saying.
I feel as strongly as I do about Destiny because I've played it so much.
Yeah,
But
do you think it was like because
So
it's
it's
like, oh, new
burned
music.
into my head.
I love that music. I've been playing with that game with the music off. Since they added that feature
Sure.
though, because I listen to other music while I
Yeah,
play
yeah.
games. So it's not about about having it through osmosis. It's about like seeing it in the trailers, hearing it in the menu, and stuff like that. It's music I would listen to in my free time
Okay.
and have.
So, what would you like to drop then?
You know,
I would probably say drop Destiny over Witcher. For me, at least.
But you know,
I feel very strongly about
Wouldn't
the
it be
Witcher
nice if
3's music.
Undertale had used real music?
Get the fuck out.
Got you.
What are you fucking Brendan Shepard over there?
Hates everything retro.
It's everything.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
Oh,
Brendan
that's
has,
fun.
you don't know that? Like, okay.
Brendan Shepard
Brendan
hates
Shepard.
retro things. Game of the
Shout
Year
out.
2015.
Fuck.
Keep it locked with the home button.
All right. Remove Metal Gear.
No.
Witcher.
No.
Density.
I'll
You,
remove.
you don't play with the music, and I have a feeling I like it so much because I've heard it for hours on end.
But,
Some say you go to sleep to it.
but that doesn't.
I've fallen asleep playing Destiny.
I don't think that I don't think that's the same like.
I
Bias
can
invalidation.
recognize that it's good. I don't know if it's as good as The Witcher 3's music.
I mean, I would rather get rid of Undertale than get rid of.
Oh,
get
I'm
rid
not
of
letting that
Destiny.
happen. Fuck no.
I think John
Dog
feels
song.
way too strongly about it.
Sure. Opening.
Sorry, Cortana. I
Thanks,
got excited.
Cortana.
She got really excited there for a while.
What about
we're
the
not
Halo
discuss-
music, Cortana?
Don't say her
nixed
name.
Don't say her name, please. Shut up,
Please.
Cortana.
Please no.
I had to turn off Cortana's voice recognition. Like, I thought it was a cool
Did
feature.
you know if you sit closer to the mic than everyone else, it's gonna sound really crappy?
So I had to turn off Cortana's voice recognition because when I was playing video
Man, I thought you had
games-
to go. Like, I thought you didn't want to be here any longer.
Oh,
Fuck Cortana.
Game of the year.
I would be playing games and she would minimize my game. Like,
Okay,
I'm like, fuck off, Cortana.
all right.
Okay, no one's really vouching for Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
confused about. I didn't.
Okay, I
What?
guess for me it's more
I
I
can
really
get-
like
I can
those.
get rid
I
of-
really like those
You
two
were-
themes.
Like Matt was like, Metal Gear. He's
I
like,
can
no.
I can get rid of Metal Gear.
I really like those two themes a lot, but the overall soundtracks I'm okay dropping.
Get rid of Metal Gear.
Okay,
Metal Gear.
which one wins? For me, it's Undertale.
Witcher 3.
Destiny.
I got him. What's up, bitches?
All right, Matt.
Yo, dude. It's too bad that chiptunes are dank. Undertale.
Okay, I guess Undertale wins then.
Undertale wins.
You know that thing I was doing? Just kidding.
Oh,
Where I said it didn't have real music.
I'm so glad that every time Matt actually decides to chime in for something, it's gonna clip and no one's gonna actually hear what he said. They're just gonna take their headphones.
all right, everybody. That is day 2
Day 2.
of the home buttons.
Stay tuned for.
Let's
Day-
announce our winners. That came out this year. Winner Battlefield Hardline. Congratulations. Which follows up Evolve.
My head's gonna turn into Battlefield.
What's
Hardline.
Evolve? I don't even know. Is that like do you like turn it? Is it like Spore? What's Evolve?
It's an esport.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Is it like Firewatch?
It's
What's that?
it's a 4-player.
Well, it's a MOBA.
just announced a new MOBA today.
It's a 4-player competitive
Unreal.
multiplayer game in the
Also, that's
Metroid
serious, they did
universe.
Epic.
Okay, and Mortal Kombat Most Open World
Did you know?
goes to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt with Fallout 4 and Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Best Story goes to Soma with Tales from the Borderlands and Undertale.
God,
And
these
Best
categories.
Music goes to Undertale with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and Destiny The Taken King.
Which is such a weird pick.
Those
These
are all
just,
weird.
like,
Those are all weird
basically
picks.
what is your taste category? Like that's what Game of the Year is anyway. But like these are the perfect like.
Are you telling me
this
Game of the
why.
Year is opinionated?
Of
What?
course, of course it is, and we all know it. But these are like the crystallizations
These
of why.
Are
These nuts.
All right, guys.
are-
Thank you.
I'm also
for joining us.
unsatisfied
We
with
will
the ending
see
of
you
this
at
day.
Day 3.